Hello and welcome back to Retired Happy Again. This is Carolyn, your retired happy friend from Mississippi, and today is Memorial Day. So today we're celebrating all of the soldiers and the military who have given their all to keep us free here in our country. So I'm very, very grateful for everybody, the families who are supporting their military and who are supporting their loved ones who fight to keep our country free. So today on our visit, I'm going to have a Memorial Day lunch, a hot dog. I can't get much more American than a hot dog. I'm going to fix the melon Asiago cheese salad that's in the Cooking with Maggie cookbook. And I'm going to make a potato salad. So that's going to be my lunch. And I'll show you my home manicure and my home nail salon. So stay tuned for that. And then Wednesday coming up, I will be making the jambalaya, and I have a crochet. So on Wednesday, I'll be making the jambalaya Mississippi style, and I'm going to make this adorable little crochet gift bag. Now in the little gift bag, I have a bottle of lotion, hand lotion, but you can make it this size and it will fit some bath wash, body wash, lotion. If you're making it for a man, it could be some aftershave or cologne or possibly even shaving cream. So I'll be giving the directions on how to make this on Wednesday. So tune back in for that. And I'm out of bread. I am using my last of my rolls of bread that I had in the freezer. So if you're interested in watching me how I make my rolls, and if you're interested in the recipe, put it in the comments below, and I'll plan on that for next week. So I hope you're having a very eventful, very memorable, blessed Memorial Day, and just remember to be so thankful to God for our freedoms. So the thought for today, our pastor in our church service today left us with this message: if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. How profound is that? So we have to have something that we're aiming toward, some goals that we're working toward, something that we're planning toward, and not just drifting along in life, but if you aim for nothing, you'll hit it every time. That was pretty meaningful for me, so I will get on with the Memorial Day lunch. I have a hot dog. The watermelon Asiago salad is diced, cut up into little bite-sized pieces watermelon, and I got a really good one at Costco. And on the watermelon, I have fresh mint leaves that I picked out of my backyard, crushed red pepper, olive oil, a sprinkling of sea salt, and then on that I sprinkled some grated Parmesan cheese because I didn't have any Asiago cheese. So I have that, and it is wonderful. If you have a dinner or a picnic to go to, try that watermelon salad. In the cookbook it calls for cantaloupe, but I made it today with watermelon, and it's superb. Oh, and fresh ground black pepper. And then the potato salad, very, very simple. I boiled one Yukon Gold potato. I mixed that up with about a tablespoon of mayonnaise, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of sweet pickle relish, and this time I diced up some olives and put in it for a little extra kick, a little different taste on it. So that was my lunch today. I had one hot dog that I split in half, and I put it on my toasted Gold Miners sourdough bread. So it was really like a hot dog sandwich. When my kids were little, I used to make them hot dog sandwiches to take to school in their lunch, because we used to pack their lunch. every day when they went to school. So I hope you enjoy that. Have a very blessed Memorial Day, and put in the comments what you do to celebrate this Memorial Day. Thank you so much. Share your smile with everyone you meet today, and I'll see you back on Wednesday. Today is Saturday. It's Memorial Day weekend, and thunderstorms are on the way. I just got a little flash, a little weather alert that there's already lightning detected in my area. So I'm going to go ahead with my plans, and we may get interrupted because Maisie gets so upset when lightning is close. But today I'm going to do a manicure. This is a frugal home done manicure. Now, I have not manicured my fingernails totally for a month now. So it was the end of April, and I did them last time. Now, I have smoothed down a little bit if I had a rough area on my fingernails, but I have not cut them down, polished them, done the treatment. So I'm going to show you, this is the nail treatment that I showed you on one of my earlier videos on getting ready with me, and this is Nail Magic. Now, I have been using this for about 3 or 4 years, and let's see, there's a glare on it. But I never had good nails until I started using this product. I always had thin nails. If I bumped them against the counter or something, and my nail would just break off. They would peel. And since I've been using this, I will show you when I get to my nails, I have not had one nail break when I bump it again. I'm really hard on my nails because I like to cook, I like to sew, garden, and I used to have horses I took care of, so I'm really hard on my nails. So I'm going to do that. Now, since it's Memorial Day weekend, I got a watermelon when I went to Costco yesterday, and I'm going to make tomorrow, well, this will air Monday. I'll post this Monday. So I'm going to make a watermelon Asiago salad. And what I'm making is going to be in the Cooking with Maggie cookbook. On Wednesday, I will be making the jambalaya, which is in the cookbook, and showing you how I make the little crochet gift bag that I have put soap in, or a bottle of hand lotion or body wash, something really nice and special. And this, I'm going to modify the jambalaya recipe a little bit, and I'm going to modify this melon salad. So the melon salad with mint and Asiago cheese, I'm going to modify it, and instead of using cantaloupe, I'm going to use watermelon. So it's going to be a really good Memorial Day meal. So on to my manicure. This is frugal. One of the things I don't do anymore is go to a nail salon. I don't go to the beauty salon to get my hair done. So those are some frugal ways that I can stretch my money to afford some of my mental health activities and my hobbies that give me joy and pleasure in life. So I'm going to start by taking the old polish off my fingernails. So I have not taken it off since I put it on a month ago. And the good thing about it, it's clear, and when it kind of rubs off or wears off on the ends and the tips of my nails, it doesn't show because it's not a colored polish. So I just leave it on until I'm ready to give my fingernails another manicure. So that's going to be the first step. I'm going to take what's left of the old polish off, and then I'll go to the sink and wash my nails, get them really good and clean. I'll probably use a little bit of Dawn dishwashing detergent just to get any traces of oil off, so the polish that I use will stay on the tips of my fingernails longer. So I have been just so impressed with this nail product that I have fingernails. And a lot of times people think I have a French manicure because the end of my nails are white, but I don't. And a lot of times I will take one of those fingernail pencils, the white pencils, and go right under the end of my fingernails to make it look more like a French manicure. So there we go. I have all the polish off. Now I'm going to step away to the sink and go wash my fingernails really good. But you can see how they're all still the same length. None of them have broken off. And so now I'm going to trim them. This is longer than I want them, but I'll just show you and let you see the before on how long they get in a month. And I have kind of trimmed it down if I get a rough spot or a place that's catching when I'm sewing or crocheting. If I have a place that's catching on the yarn, I'll get an emery board and smooth it down. Now my fingernails are clean and washed, and what I do, because my fingernails are pretty long and I'm going to trim a pretty good bit off, I use the nail clippers to give it a first cut, and that way I don't have to spend quite so much time filing it. But see, I'm really cutting a pretty good bit off, and that way my manicure will last another month. When my fingernails get as long as they are right now, they start bothering me, but I love having long nails, and I'm just so glad that I have fingernails at all. So y'all, today is Memorial Day weekend, and we are just so thankful for our freedom, for all the men, women, family members who sacrificed to keep our country free, and that we have our country to live in that we still have. So our neighborhood is really pretty. We have a big wreath on the entrance gate. I have my flag up in front of my house, and we have our decorating committee put a little flag on a little stick on every group of mailboxes. Because we don't have individual mailboxes, we have groups of 4 mailboxes together. So our neighborhood looks really patriotic right now. Probably, usually, I know last year our flags stayed up from Memorial Day until the week after 4th of July. So we'll get to be really patriotic for a little over a month. I guess we could leave them up to Labor Day, but we don't. We just leave it up until a little bit after the 4th of July, and then in the fall we start putting up fall decorations and pumpkins and scarecrows and that kind of thing. And that just started after I moved here, that we started having seasonal decorations. Okay, there we go. I have most of the length trimmed off, so now I'll come back with my emery board and start smoothing everything down. So I'd like for you to put in the comments what you're doing this weekend and what your Memorial Day is going to be. My dad was in the Army, and when he was in service, he was not in combat on the front line because he had fallen during maneuvers and had broken his ankle. So he was stationed at a hospital in England, and he was taking care of the other soldiers who were in the battle and on the front lines. So my dad really didn't talk about it a whole lot because of the trauma and just seeing all the soldiers come back into the hospital burned and limbs missing, and he was in the burn unit, so he had to his job was to take care of the soldiers who came in with bomb burns or ammunition burns and change the dressings, and how painful it was to the men because they would have to take the dressings off and put new dressings on. So whether our soldiers and our service people actually lost their life and gave their all for our freedom, many other soldiers did their service, did their patriotic duty for our country, and then came back home to our families. So we just owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to all of our service people. Okay, so there we go. That's my thankful for today, is for our country and for the freedoms that we have to go where we want to, eat what we want to, work where we want to, marry who we want to, and a lot of these we take for granted. So this Memorial Day, let's stop and pause and not take for granted the freedoms that we have. So that's the good word for today. That was a long word, wasn't it? Okay, I'm going to go all the way around all of my fingernails now, and this is about the length that I'm going to make all of them. I'm going to file them all down, and then after I get them all filed and smoothed, I'll come back and push the cuticle back. I don't put any cuticle cream or any kind of oil on it. I just push them back, and then after I get that done and go all the way around, I'll be ready to put the magic nail, well, it's actually nail magic, the nail magic on. So I got this at Sally's Beauty Supply, and they have it. I went back in because I had heard somewhere that they were going to stop making it, but they said no, they weren't going to stop making it. But the original bottle I got was clear. This one is a light pink. And when I went in to check to make sure they weren't going to stop making it, they had one that was a real light purple. So I would have to look at the labels and read to see exactly what the difference is in all of them, but I do know it works on my nails. Now my fingernails are all filed, and this is the way I like to have them to start the month. So I have them all smooth, have my cuticles pushed back, and this will last till the end of, till the end of June. So usually my manicures last about a month. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my nail magic on, and I like to put 2 coats on. So do the first coat and then let that dry good and do the second coat. And since it goes on clear, you don't notice it if the ends start chipping. So anyway, one other thing I did this afternoon, I went ahead and cooked my rice for my jambalaya so that when I get ready to cook my vegetables and my meat, then I have my rice that's already ready. So I like to use the jasmine rice, and it tastes really good. If I don't use all that I cooked, I'll put the rest of it in a Ziploc bag and put in the freezer to have for another meal. But to go in the jambalaya, I'm going to be using celery, onion, bell pepper, and I have a little piece of the chicken breast, some smoked sausage, and shrimp in the freezer. So it's going to be really good. Y'all tune in Wednesday for the jambalaya. And I am going to change the recipe in Cooking with Maggie just a little bit on this cooking, but it's going to be basically the same. I'll put the changes in the video. And then the melon, watermelon salad, I'm going to make this evening after I get through with my manicure, and that will be on. Y'all, Maisie is already at my feet, so the sun is shining, but she is already at my feet and shaking, so I gave her one of those little calm tablet, not really tablet, but bites that I got at PetSmart. But she knows there's thunder somewhere around. I can't hear it, and the sun is still shining, but she's telling me, Mom, it's on the way, it's on the way, they're coming to get us. Poor baby. I haven't had her during a holiday when the fireworks are going off yet, so we'll see how she does this July when the fireworks are going off. I'm sure she'll be about the same way. I'll have to make sure I'm home and she'll stay not very far away. Okay, that is the first coat on my fingernails. Doesn't that look beautiful, y'all? I am just so in awe that I have fingernails and that they're pretty. So all my life I've not been able to have fingernails. So this is the way it's going to look. I'm going to put a second coat on, and then I'll be finished with my nails. Now in the morning after I take my shower, I will do my pedicure and trim my toenails, but I do not put polish on my toenails. I let them stay natural. So that's another thing I don't do now that I'm retired. Now my fingernail polish is dry, and I have a white pencil. So to make it even more look like French manicure, I take the white pencil and go right up under my fingernail. And that have to do it right before you're going somewhere so it won't wash off, but that just really highlights the ends of your fingernails and makes it look really pretty. So I hope y'all like this frugal home manicure, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to look good. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun and enjoy life. So that is another thing I have learned in life, and I learned when I was raising our children. We had 5, and you know, money was kind of tight with needing new school clothes and new Easter shoes for 5 and school supplies and everything 5 needs. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun and enjoy life, like mine and Maisie's walk along the reservoir. That just didn't cost me 1 penny, and it was fun. Life is good and God is good. We have a saying at a church I used to go to: God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. I like that. So Maisie and I are going for a walk, and the thunderstorms really never got too bad here. It kind of bypassed us, and Maisie was so happy about that. So now the sun is going down. We're having a beautiful sunset. I hope this shows up on the video because it's orange and pink and yellow. The air is cool. There's no wind blowing right now, but when the wind was blowing, it was blowing all the white blooms off these white crepe myrtle trees, and when I looked out, it looked like it was snowing. But here we go. Maisie is watching somebody else walking down the street. So, and there's no wind at all right now. And the sunset just keeps getting brighter and brighter, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The sunset after a storm is always so beautiful. Thank you for joining me today. Share your smile with everyone you know, and thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. And with Maisie. Maisie, say bye-bye. She sees somebody else down the street. She is the most social dog I've ever seen. Maisie, say goodbye. Goodbye. So now the sun's going down and the sunset's just getting brighter. And in my house, there was just a yellow pink glow in the sky. It's just absolutely beautiful.